Church of Euthanasia is what I think we would all consider a modern-day bizarre cult that is based in Boston, Massachusetts. However, they associate themselves as a church because it is a defense mechanism for their extreme movements and because they have beliefs like any other church does, just a little bit different. But basically, the Church of Euthanasia is a non-profit organization that's dedicated to restoring a balance between all living things on Earth. They want to restore this balance because they think that our world is becoming overcrowded and will end in horrible consequences if it isn't fixed right away. The way they choose to fix this issue is through highly unethical tactics that will probably shock and disturb you. Reverend Chris Corda, also known as Chrissy, is a transgender that leads the Church of Euthanasia. She designed the 4 pillars and is a large activist in her community. Not much is known about her other than what you see physically. No one knows exactly why she chooses to do the things that she does, but she does. She's highly against anyone who's against abortion and homosexuality. She does what she can to offend them through any means possible. The church finds themselves to be very pragmatic and understanding. Therefore, they follow one commandment that they take very seriously. And that commandment is that thou shalt not procreate. And it means just what it says. If you disobey, there are consequences to this. If you have already procreated, you can still join the church so long as you don't procreate anymore. The church's first pillar is their pillar of abortion. The members of the church think that procreation is very wrong and will result in a deadly consequence if our world becomes too populated. Therefore, no members of the church are allowed to procreate. If they accidentally do so, the church provides resources for fixing the issue. Resources such as emergency contraceptives. But if it is too late, the church asks that the woman get an abortion if she wants to stay in the church. If she chooses not to have an abortion, she is automatically kicked out of the church and all communication with her is cut off. This is a pillar that they take very seriously, and if we're one to join the church, they must absolutely abide by this single commandment. Suicide is the church's second pillar, and it's pretty much self-explanatory. But basically, if you want to kill yourself, that is one step towards a decreasing population and towards a more balanced planet. At least this is true in the eyes of the church and not so much anyone else. The church's website has various methods that can help you to kill yourself without them actually assisting. These range from methods of overdosing or hanging yourself. If you kill yourself and you are already a member of the church, you are automatically deemed a saint by the church. For instance, they have a saint who they call Saint Kevorkian. He is a well-known controversial doctor that some may know him as Dr. Death. He is so controversial because he is a medical suicide assisting doctor. He began studying lethal injection at a young age and felt if someone wanted to kill themselves that they should be allowed to do so through a doctor, and that the government should have no say in this decision. His firm belief led him to a patient named Thomas Uke. Thomas Uke came to Dr. Kevorkian because he wanted to end his life as a result of being diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease. Of course, the doctor accepted and went as far as videotaping him lethally injecting Thomas Uke. As a result, he is serving a 10 to 25-year prison sentence. The church's next pillar is their pillar of sodomy, which I find to be really kind of creepy. But they believe that this is a suitable pillar because sodomy is an act in which no one can get pregnant from doing. However, the church does not understand that sodomy is such a raw topic to even pursue as a pillar. But Chris Corda thinks it's appropriate, mostly because it's his way of life versus everyone else's. The pillar, too, has arisen many controversies with this cult because sodomy is referred to in the Bible and frowned upon by much of society. The last and final pillar of the Church of Euthanasia is very disturbing because it involves eating human flesh. The church believes that cannibalism can help the church in many ways. They strictly emphasize the fact that if one were to engage in the act of cannibalism, they must do so on the already dead. Chris Kohler thinks that cannibalism can help aid population balance if we eat each other rather than animals. Many people, including myself, think this is extremely bizarre and unethical, but they truly and honestly believe cannibalism is an appropriate pillar. The church even has a recipe for cooking a human being, and this is by far the creepiest pillar of all because of how serious it is. It makes me wonder if they would even eat one of their own family members. Either way, cannibalism is the fourth and final pillar of their uncanny cult.